a sip of my tea. Hold on. By the way, I'm not super satisfied with the setup yet and with the lighting and everything, but that's for another video because I'm planning on doing Vlogmas, probably. Okay. Okay, so I don't quite remember everything that I talked about in my last dating gossip video. So if you haven't seen the whole series, I can link the playlist down below. I have a playlist called ASMR Dating Gossip. Just go to that. Just go to that. Because yeah, it will kind of tell you where, like, you can just watch the whole thing from the beginning, like from the very first dating gossip video, which was about like an ex situationship, to where we are at now. So in my last video, again, I don't quite remember like what I talked about specifically, but I'm just gonna kind of go off of memory, like what happened after that. So I saw Kyle, I think, one more time after that video. I'm not sure. It could have been that I filmed that video after. I am not 100% certain how, if I saw him after that video or if that was the last time that I saw him. I don't remember, but basically the last time that I saw Kyle, he was about to go on vacation, and I was getting prepared for my boyfriend to polyamorous situation, dating situation. Again, if you're not aware, just watch the other, if you're like, what, boyfriend, like, just watch my other videos, I'll explain everything. But basically, I was getting ready for my boyfriend to come, and him and I had like a date, or like a hangout, or whatever you want to call it, and it was great. It was really, really great. It was really, really great. I really, like, for me, it's like again, I'm very happy when I'm around him. I laugh a lot. It's as I told you guys, great connection, whatever. Let's have a sip. Let's have a sip. Oh geez, that's actually really hot. Okay. So after that, he went on vacation, and I was kind of preoccupied with my boyfriend coming back and just like adjusting to that change, because I hadn't seen my boyfriend in like almost 6 months. So we didn't really, like, we texted, but we didn't really text like that much in the time that he was gone. But whenever we would text, like a little bit of fun with, and then, you know, when your perfect monogamous girl comes around, it's like, okay, bye. Like, no, we're not doing that. So I was like, okay, if it's like that, we could just call it off now, you know. And then I think it was kind of weird. Like, it was really weird. It was a lot of like back and forth. And basically that night we decided, okay, we're just gonna sleep on it. We're just gonna like not even make a big decision now. So I was like, okay, you know, let's just wait it out a little bit longer. Hold on. Good. Okay, I was just reading my yoga tea wisdom. So I was like, of the impression, like we were just gonna wait and see. Just wait it out a little longer. And then, so the next day, I told him kind of like, because that was also what kind of annoyed me. He then told me, because you guys know, like, I would love to just move to Portugal, and he told me like, yeah, he's happy for me if I go to Portugal, but he wasn't happy for himself because he doesn't want like a long distance relationship. And I was like, bro, you could have said something. Because when I told him like, oh, I might go to Portugal, whatever, he was like, oh, okay, I can just visit you. Like, he never ever when we were talking said that he has a problem with that. And I was like, he could have told me, you know, like, why didn't he just tell me that? And I feel like he was holding back a lot of stuff. And I like, he even said like, yeah, remember I told you like I can't have like stronger emotions or whatever, blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, I don't like that. He was like, yeah, I know. But anyway, yeah, so so stuff like that was coming out, and I was like, bro, like, just, you could have just literally just told me like how you feel without holding it back or whatever. And then the next day I sent him an audio message, and I was like, okay, maybe think about, what do you want apart from all those circumstances, like me being polyamorous, me going to Portugal, like, what do you actually want? Like, I wanted him to give me an honest answer as to how would the situation look like. Let's say I wasn't moving to Portugal, I wasn't polyamorous, like, what would you want? Like, with me as a person, without all this outer stuff, outer circumstances, my hair, without all this outer circumstances stuff, like, what do you want, right? And he was like, yeah, that's like a good question, but he would have to like meditate for that, like, he would have to like lock himself away and like meditate for 3 days. And I was like, okay, bro. The tea is hot. And then he basically said like, I think I'm coming to terms with the fact that we just have, like, we're just not on the same page with this. And I was like, okay, like, I didn't really understand what was going on, because we just like agreed that we were gonna sleep on it, and then he says that, you know. And I was like, I didn't get it. But basically after that he like, not him, I sent him like a long ass text, and can I even say that on here? I hope so. And guys, I didn't hold back, okay? And I'm not ashamed, because you have to be vulnerable in this life, because you can't just always, like, obviously don't chase after somebody and like put yourself on the pedestal. And, you know, to an extent, having pride is not a bad thing, but often pride is connected to the ego. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna tell this man how I feel about him. Like, I'm just gonna lay it all out there, right? So I told him that I'm in love with him, and I told him like I want to go all in, and I told him he just said, LOL, like your humor at the end of the message. And then I was like, stone cold. I was like, okay, that's it. I laid it all out there. Now, bye. So I was just like there was like a few like things. Like I owed him a little bit of money, so I was like, what's your PayPal? Like, I'm just gonna give you the money now. And I think it seemed like over text, maybe he was a little bit caught off guard by me suddenly being like, you know, kind of cold. But I was like, okay, you know. And it was so weird because the next day, or like a couple days later, I sent him the money and he texted me, I got the money. And I was like, okay, good. And then he was like, good morning. And I was like, good morning. And then we didn't text for 2 weeks straight. And you know, guys, I can accept when things end, but like it was so weird. First of all, it didn't even really feel like an ending because I was the only one kind of texting in a way that it felt like an ending. He was just kind of, it was just so weird. It was just so odd. Second of all, I'm not saying, like, I'm not trying to be like, I'm hopeful, but there's just so much potential in this connection that I still see that I don't think we fully experienced. And so I just don't think this is over. Even though we didn't text for 2 weeks straight, I was like, I don't think this is over. But I didn't text him or anything because I was like, I did my part. I did my part, okay? So, the first week I was basically just waiting for him to text me. I was obviously very sad, especially the first day. I was listening to like sad music and stuff, but I was like, you know what? No, I'm just gonna hype myself up, and I took those 2 weeks to work a lot on my self-concept. I listened to a lot of self-love podcasts and stuff like that, and just not even because of him, but just in general because I'd been dealing with some insecurities. I think I told you in one of my videos. So I just really started working on myself, you know. And then on Halloween, so I guess when you see this video, almost a week ago, on Halloween, he reached out. But guys, this man, either he doesn't know what he wants, or he knows what he wants and he's just too scared to say it, or he actually genuinely is just like a guy. I don't know. But he texts me, okay, and he says, hey, I wanted to, how do I translate? I wanted to reach out throughout this no contact or something like that, and I wanted to ask you, how are you doing? Okay, nice message. I reply, we text a little bit back and forth, and then I was like, okay, there's no way that he would just text me and say, hey, how are you doing? And then disappear. I just don't believe that because, first of all, that would be a very unfair thing to do. If you're obviously, I don't know his perspective because, again, the breakup was kind of weird. It didn't feel like a real, I don't know how to explain it, but when you reach out to an old friend and you ask, hey, how are you doing? Fine. But someone that you're romantically involved with that has told you how they feel about you, I don't think you're just gonna reach out to them and say, hey, what's up? Unless your intention is to reconcile the contact, or get back into contact, or dip your toes into the water and kind of see. Okay, maybe I'm wrong, but I wouldn't do that. If I knew, I don't know, I don't know how to explain it, but I just wouldn't do that. Obviously, maybe you care about the person and you genuinely just want to know how they're doing, but yeah, I don't know, I wouldn't do that. But then again, they say that men, they do what they actually think. Men are more complicated, not more complicated, less complicated, in that when they text you, they want to text you and stuff like that. But I don't know, at the same time, we're all humans, and I don't know, this is going too deep into psychology now. Anyway. By the way, it's not sponsored, this video, but I so good, so pretty. The jewelry, literally, even though I wasn't feeling the most confident lately, so I can only recommend. This is so good. Okay. So yeah, I guess I could have just texted like normal, like nothing ever happened, but I was like, okay, so what does he want, you know? So after texting a little bit back and forth, just like how we're doing, yada yada yada, I was like, okay, so now what? And then he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, you said that you wanted you wanted to reach out during the no contact. You did that now. So what's happening? Like, are we just gonna go back to no contact? And he said something along the lines of like, oh, he didn't think about that. He just thought about, you know, texting me and seeing, wait, I can actually read you guys. Hold on. You can tell me in the comments if you think that he's being legit or if he's lying. Okay, he said, I wanted to know if you're doing good. I didn't think any further. Are you kidding? Like, okay, if that's true, then why reach out? I guess, you know, he doesn't follow me on Instagram. He doesn't have my social media, so he cannot stalk me in that way. So I guess he genuinely doesn't have any idea of how I'm doing because we're just texting on a messaging app. Like, he has no way of knowing how I'm doing because, again, he doesn't follow me on social media. But really, dude, like, again, either he's lying and he had thoughts that he just doesn't want to reveal, because I guess I called him out and like I was like, what do you want from me? I didn't really say like what I want or whatever, you know. Or he's legit, but like, why? So I just replied, okay. And then the next day I just kind of felt called to text him because I was like, okay, you know what, let's see, because he made the first move, I guess, right? And so I was like, okay, he made the first move, let me text him and show him that I appreciated him reaching out to me. Like, I kind of wanted to show like, yo, like, you can text me, it's cool, you know, I guess, in a way. So I texted him, and I didn't say anything like deep or specific or whatever. I was just kind of like this and that. I don't know. I didn't really say anything like, how do you say, like, I didn't say anything meaningful, you know. So we text back and forth, and I think he was like on the train. I don't know. Or like he said he was on the train. And then at some point the conversation just ended. Like, it wasn't, you know, we didn't say goodnight or anything. So now I'm basically waiting, but I'm not like sitting around and waiting, but like, I made my move, you know, it's your move now. You know what also confuses me about the whole thing is that if you watch my other dating gossip parts, you know, or maybe I've talked about this, he is a very like face-to-face / phone call kind of person. When there's something important, he wants to talk about it face-to-face or over a phone call. And we didn't have the chance to do that. We just broke it off on the messaging app. So I thought that was really strange as well. And maybe he didn't even, like, I feel like the vibe that I'm getting from this is like we were both kind of like confused because neither of us really wanted this breakup, and it wasn't even really defined, like, okay, we're just not gonna talk to each other or whatever. Like, we didn't say that. We didn't have a face-to-face conversation. We didn't have a phone call. And so what I'm assuming is going to happen next, but I guess you have to wait for the next episode if there will be another episode, because yeah, this is also unfortunately assuming is going to happen next is he's gonna ask me to talk in person or on a phone call, or if he doesn't straight up ask, it's gonna naturally just kind of, probably we're gonna talk on the phone first and then meet up. I don't know, but I think naturally that's what's gonna happen, is we're gonna end up talking on the phone or meeting up and talking about it, because yeah, I mean, I still have feelings for him. I obviously want him to be a part of my life. I think you guys know from my previous videos that I do really like him, but at the same time, I'm not gonna like, I'm not the type of girl to like chase after a guy or like put my life on hold or like any of that stuff. I don't do that because I am like, my main priority is me, and I'm not trying to like make this sound selfish or whatever. It's just, you know, self-love, and I need to fill my cup first, so I'm not gonna let a guy like rule my emotional world. But I would lie if I was like, yeah, I don't care. Like, obviously I care. Like, yeah, I care about him. I like him, not just as a romantic potential partner, but also as a friend. But also, like, I can't really imagine like being friends with him right now, you know. So we are going to see how the situation will progress. I am proud of myself for, like, I really wanted him to be the first one to say like I love you, or like I'm in love. I didn't say I love you. I don't even think I'm in love. Like, I have romantic feelings, you know, and I wanted him to be the first one who says it, but I was like, you know, screw this, like, I'm just gonna like throw my pride away, you know. I didn't really think about if we do reconnect in that way and we see each other again and we date each other again. Like, I put that out there, like, I really said that. I can't really take it back now. I didn't really think about it in the moment because I was like, you know what, I guess this is the end, so I'm just gonna say whatever I want. But I didn't think about like it could bite me, like it could, but I didn't really think about that it could be potentially making me vulnerable later on. Like, I guess I didn't think about that, but I don't care. You know, I know my worth. I know I am a great partner and I'm a great person in general to have around, and I am, and like he could be happy that I even want him in my life. Like, and I don't mean that in like an arrogant way, just again like a self-love kind of way. Like, I know my worth and I'm not gonna like cry about some guy, you know. Like, yeah, he's hot, yeah, he's cool, yes, I like him. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna be his little placeholder girl, and I know things would probably look different if, you know, I was single and I was just like monogamous. And I'm wondering, honestly, seriously wondering how things would look, because yeah, like what would he feel then? What would he, you know, want then? But in any case, I know my worth, and I know that I'm just a catch, whether I'm monogamous, polyamorous. Like, I understand his reservations, but again, I need to kind of look out for myself here. So yeah, don't worry, I'm not gonna like chase after some guy or like, I don't know. If I ever did that in the past, it was always for like a very short amount of time, and then I get back to myself, you know. So yeah, that is the update. It's not the happiest update, but it is interesting because it holds place for like new things to come, hopefully with Kyle, because at this point I am not ready to date anybody else or wanting to date anybody else other than my boyfriend, of course. So I'm just focusing on myself, focusing on my channel, focusing on my TikTok, on, you know, my goals, because the year is ending, and yeah, I'm just focused on that. But if he ends up coming around, I will let you guys know. Again, I have a feeling that it's not the end of the road and that there's more to come, but we will see what will happen. And at the end of the day, yeah, I am sad, but we're gonna see. Or it stays interesting. It will stay interesting, guys, because